guys, what's going on? Alex Pro here. I've been crazy busy. That's why I haven't been posting many videos on YouTube because I've been taking care of the release of my new album. You might have heard. It's called Angel of War. Go check it out. It's instrumental rock, but that takes up a lot of time for me. And then I have, all my private students, gigs, recordings, all that stuff. So it's hard to actually find the time to do this. But today I just wanted very quickly to talk to you guys about one of my favorite players, Angus Young. You'll see me playing the solo for TNT at the beginning of the video. Later today, I have to teach a lesson. One of my private students wants to learn the solo for TNT. And the way I like to teach things is I like to not just give you something that you want to learn, but after you learn it, I want to explain to you everything that's going on, the behind the curtains, right? Because if you just learn something that you get from a teacher, from a YouTube video, whatever, and that's the end of it, you don't understand what's going on there. Over time, when you start playing it, most of that knowledge, if not all of it, just fades away. But if you understand everything that's going on, then that knowledge becomes yours, and then you can apply it to anything else you're playing, right? So here, let's talk about what's going on. Most of it pentatonic, but not all of it, right? So coming out of the chorus, that band, right? Normal first shape of the minor pentatonic, key of E, right? Normal that we play here, right? But then he plays this run, right? So what's going on here? Well, here's thinking Dorian, right? So as some of you, or most of you, or all of you might know, Dorian is one of the Greek modes, as the second one, right? And it's like, you can call it like the friendlier of the minor scales. It's very used in blues and rock and roll. If you know your intervals, you can think of it as a minor pentatonic scale. The minor pentatonic is contained inside Dorian. So you can think of it as the minor pentatonic plus two notes, right? And those notes would be the major 6 and the major 9, right? So here, if we have our minor pentatonic, he's playing exactly those 2 extra notes for Dorian that gets you that Dorian flavor, the Dorian color, right? Which is the major 9, and then here your major 6. So he goes, if we think about it on the first shape here, right? So he goes, then we're back to our pentatonic thinking. And then here on the 4th string, he's gonna play a slide from the root to the major 9th again. And then he's gonna do something that I love doing, which is play a minor second interval, right? That you will, if you know your intervals, you learn that, avoid the minor second interval because minor second is a terrible sounding interval. Well, yeah, if you play like this, it kind of sucks, right? It hurts your ears a little bit. But depending on the context, it sounds awesome. Here's one of those, right? So he slides, and then that's F sharp on the 4th string, that's G on the 3rd. But when you let those notes ring together, in this context, it sounds great. Right? Country music uses a lot of that. I like to use minor second intervals inside chord shapes also. There's many applications of it when it sounds great, so don't dismiss minor second intervals. So here we go. So far so good. Now the thinking, he's just switching from the first shape at the beginning of the neck with open strings to the first shape an octave higher, right here, right? No, nothing new there. So what's new is the licks are a bit unusual in the way they're built. So the first one is, right? So what's unusual is, usually when we're first learning these shapes, we kind of follow this order of like playing or, right? But here he does something tricky. He goes on the second string, he goes one way, and on the third, he goes the opposite way. So he goes. Right? Right? And just the rhythm, also the time where these notes land is a bit weird when you're learning it, especially without the music. But it's all minor pentatonic. And then the next phrase is. Right? So just pretty much using the lick that we all learn, one of the first licks that I teach my students in pentatonic, which is the. And the variations of that. Whatever. All the variations of that little idea, right? That we hear everywhere from Chuck Berry to, so he's kind of like. And another lick, because there's that thingy here. That lick here too. That reminds me of like something that Mark Knopfler used to play. I love Mark Knopfler, against also one of my favorite players. And this little nugget here, and variations on it, right? So combining, and again, it's just the phrasing is a little bit weird, but it's all minor pentatonic. And then he plays a more predictable pattern, which is. Right? And then he breaks it down with he ends it with a little phrase, but the pattern is. Right? You can play that all 5 shapes. That's a good pattern to learn. And that's it. Right? Right? So just one of the techniques for improv when I teach students, also like when they're starting to improvise, is using patterns, but using patterns in a way that is not that doesn't sound like an exercise, right? Because you want to hear solo, which is it's like super predictable pattern, right? So they use like little chunks, which is exactly what's going on here. So right, and so it's pretty much first shape, man. First shape here, just an octave high, and the only time he gets a little further than that is just the last note. Right? Which is, you could be thinking of, it's like the second shape of minor pentatonic. Right? Other than that, and maybe like if you want to think that here, he's thinking the second shape of Dorian, you could say that, playing that. Because you can really play that note here, because with open strings, right? First shape with Dorian. So that's F sharp here, but you don't have that here. So that's probably playing here, and then that open string as well. So that's pretty much it. One thing that I think is worth noting about Angus's playing is the vibrato. Like, his vibrato is amazing. It's incredible. When you right, and the end. That kind of vibrato, right? It takes a while for you to get. Like, it's mean. It's super mean. Even I saw once Nuno talking about Angus, and like, yeah, I could play. He said something like, I could play Angus's solos, but to mean the notes like that and have that type of vibrato, that's a different story. So yeah, it's something to pay attention to when you're learning any Angus Young stuff. Is vibrato. Okay, this is a quick one. There's not a lot to talk about. It's a short solo, but it's just like, this is, I think every player should learn, that is interested in learning rock and roll, should look into Angus Young for lead, right? And also, I mean, of course, rhythm, but Malcolm, one of the best rhythm guitar players there were. So look into AC/DC, learn a bunch of AC/DC stuff, try to understand what's going on there. For this solo is mostly knowing your pentatonics and knowing Dorian, right? And if you want to be specific about what Angus Young is using, just some fast runs, right? It's like a fast run there you can do here, right? And you can try to find that in different spots in the neck, also with different notes. It doesn't have to be minor third, major second. It could be something like here in Dorian, right? Same idea. Right? And then also these little effects are cool though. Right? Like little things that might sound silly, but they add a lot to a solo, like the slide from nowhere, going all the way down the neck, right, to open string, and then playing like an open E, and then go all the way to this octave. Like a big jump in octaves. It's cool. Like Steve Ray Vaughan used to do that a lot too, like playing, that's another one that when I think about this kind of stuff, I think about him. He would play like a lot of stuff on the first shape, and then maybe play 2 notes on the first shape, an octave higher, they go back, right? So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. Let me know how you like it. If you have any questions, put it on the comments, and I'll do my best to reply. All right.